we're going to talk about Florida and the buying process. I know it's daunting. It feels so far away, or it feels like it's unattainable. But take it from me, I've done it. I've done it successfully. We're going to basically overlay our plan on whatever client that we have that wants to buy in Southwest Florida and Florida in general. Hey guys, Steve Zalunardo here with Treviso Realty this time. We're going to talk about Florida and the buying process, because now we finally purchased the property, went through the process of getting mortgage, finance, and then ultimately we took possession of the property last week. So now we have a record of how everything is done. If you are looking to buy in the US, number one, you have to open up a US bank account. Now, you don't have to do it right in America. You can actually have, we're specifically dealing with TD, because it's all my business is done with TD, so it's a lot easier than let's say RBC and some other Canadian banks. So TD was the best approach because we have TD America. They're huge in Florida and huge on the East Coast of America. So we have a lot of different branches we can kind of utilize. So what we did with them is we opened up a bank account a year and a half before we even thought about even buying real estate. So just kind of create record, move some money over there, and then at the time when we have to buy, we can always transfer from TD Canada to TD America and ultimately make a purchase. So this was like done really prematurely with no thought of buying anything anytime soon, but I knew I had to do this at some point. So open up a bank account at TD or whatever bank of your choice. Number two, you got to talk to a mortgage agent. And I dealt with TD specifically because we're going to keep everything under one umbrella. And that process is you're obviously going to give them your Canadian documentation, your NOAs, your T1 generals. And if you run like you're self-employed like myself, you're going to be dealing with a hell of a lot more paperwork because of the complications of we're getting paid in commissions, how much money's left, what's held in the corporation, what you pay yourself annually. So it's just very complicated. But if you're just straight fixed income and you have like a simple NOA, it's a lot easier process than say someone like myself that's self-employed. With that process, you'll get pre-qualified and then you're good to go buy a property. And this is the reason why you get pre-qualified, not just in America and Canada. When you're buying new construction, they want to have either a proof of funds that you're paying the property all in cash, or you're going to be financing the property, so you need a letter of approval from your mortgage company. And then you'll be able to submit an offer. Obviously, we bought in February. It was a very hot time in Florida, just like it was here. So we were facing bidding wars when we were entering these new construction sites. Obviously, weight and power is we had a mortgage approval and obviously cash if we needed it to close it all in cash. So that was a big help when we got the property bought. Now, going through the process with the builder, we dealt with Lennar. It's the largest home builder in all of America. It was 10% down. So we put down 10% down at signing, and then there was another 10% deposit prior to closing. So it's not like we refer a lawyer out here and everyone's kind of sporadic all over the place. They have title companies. So what it is that we dealt with Lennar Homes and then Lennar Title Company. So all the wire transfers, all the money that needed to be sent over was done directly through Lennar's web portal, where it was quite easy, where we were able to move money through their system and then have record of it. So it's really, really nice. They have a nice website. It kind of tracks all the thing you need to do, when to do your utilities. It's actually quite informative and also interactive. And the good thing is with the title company, it would sort of be like our attorney here, let's just say that. So what happens with that is that we have direct contact with them, where I can actually text messengers through this portal, and then ultimately we can communicate back and forth, have any questions. So that was quite an amazing process. Good thing with dealing with Lennar too, they have an insurance company. So it was like one-stop shop. So you can go to Lennar, get a mortgage, get your insurance, and then get your title closed. So it's one-stop shop. And even with the insurance, the home insurance, because they know the property, and the property we bought wasn't in a flood hazard zone. So the insurance was cheaper, where we didn't have to get flood hazard. So what happened with that is, let's say a regular transaction for this typical house was about $2,000 per year USD. We got it down to like $500 to $600 a year for our property insurance, which is awesome. Obviously, that's more money in our property when we lease out the property. And that's pretty much it. I think the banking process is a lot more strict than we have here. Obviously, they don't want to repeat that 2006, 7, and 8 debacle in the States. So it's very, very intrusive into obviously, my finances. They cover every angle. They want to make sure, like on closing, they wanted to make sure I had at least 12 months of payments in my bank account. That was one thing that was not shocking, but luckily we had some money to throw into those U.S. accounts, or where the money was there, so it didn't cause any issues. That was a surprise to me prior to closing. Also, the appraisals. Like we bought this property in February, and we closed last week. So let's say in the first week of September, we had 3 banking appraisals that have gone through. We had one appraisal done on the property, I guess on paper value at the time of signing and closing the deal. Then we had one midway through, just to kind of see if we're still up to snuff as interest rates were changing. And then we had one prior to closing. And they want to do this last bank appraisal usually a few days prior to closing, because they know what happens with the builders is that because they're publicly traded, they have quotas to meet. Not like our builders where it's like, hey, if we close this week or next month, we don't care. It's our money, it's coming home. These guys are publicly traded, so they have stockholders they have to account for. So they're trying to close everything quarterly based. So like my property was sort of rushed at the end, and another client of mine's property was rushed at the end. So the banks know this, so they want to make sure that they can submit an occupancy permit. And what they did with our property was on Friday when they brought in the appraisal, we didn't have sod, which that's one mandatory fact with occupancy. Second one was an AC unit, naturally Florida, you need one of those. And the third one was a microwave ventilation system. They don't have like a vent outside the house. It's got that recirculation microwave like we have here in condos, in some houses too, in basements. So that was pretty much it. Yeah, it was a very cool process, to be honest. They're very on top of everything. Here we have a lot of fraud being committed with mortgages. There you're not going to get away. They screen everything for like literally 7 months. We got screened monthly with Bank of TD. So a little bit more of a stringent process, but also the reward is great because the property that we bought was $380,000. At the height of the market, it was worth about $450,000. So we made about $70K USD within a few months. Now we're probably tailored it down to about $430,000. So we're still up, let's say, $30,000, $50,000 USD. Plus it's a cash positive property. We're going to make either $500 per month passive income to rent to one long-term family, or if we do like seasonal rent, we should do about $1,200 or $1,300 to $1,500 USD per month. And now we've actually bought another house just recently, and that's through Pulte, which is a smaller builder than Lennar, but more of like an upper scale builder and still publicly traded. But now we're going through the process with them, and it's obviously it's a different level. This is more of like white glove service and a lot of options. But we'll talk about the house I bought on another video. And given all that stringent process, the good thing is we're here to help. And this is why I saw the niche building and creating an office in Florida, Southwest Florida. I can be on the forefront for our potential clients or clients going forward, where we know the process, we'll get it streamlined, where there's no hassle with you purchasing a property in the US. Because I know it's daunting, it feels so far away, or it feels like it's unattainable. But take it from me, I've done it successfully. We're gonna basically overlay our plan on whatever client that we have that wants to buy in Southwest Florida and Florida in general, and go from there. So if you have any questions regarding buying in Southwest Florida or Florida in general, please reach out to me at 647-962-4372. If you like these videos, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll get back to you soon with any comments that you have. Have a great day. Ciao.